house and let her rent it out.
Yeah, yeah, I did.
Wow. Yeah, I see. Yeah. It seems like you have a big heart, man.
Yeah, that was, the intention. The property management company I work with, they didn't really laugh at me, but they said the same thing. I got a big heart.
Yeah, because to be honest, you can increase the rent by having another tenant in this location, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's been pretty good about, not complaining about my increases over the years.
Well, okay, okay. And is she under an lease agreement or a month-to-month contract?
At this point, we're month to month.
Month-to-month, okay. Wow, that's wonderful. So yeah, I'm just curious though. It sounds like you're getting a good cash flow, but what changed your mind and decided to sell the property?
Nothing really changed. It's just that because I've had the property for so long, I get calls like this all the time. So I just sort of entertain to see, what's going on.
So you just only want a fair offer for this property?
Yeah, again, I'm just not a rude person. So if people want to inquire about buying, I just hear them out, kind of see what's going on.
Yeah, so what if no one can came up with your numbers that satisfy your asking price? Do you still want to continue the selling?
Yeah, like I said, I'm always open to it. It just, if the numbers sound right, a lot of times people come in with like really, really low offers. And then I'm also still kind of concerned about my tenant. She may or may not have to find somewhere else to live. So
Yeah, I see, I see. Yeah, it sounds like you're not really into selling this property. It sounds like you just only want to hear offers.
yeah, like I said, I just entertain. Again, I want to make sure that the tenant's taken care of. I don't want her just out in the street.
Yeah, I see, I see. I totally understand. So yeah, we can also buy a property with tenant in place. We can be a new landlord. So if that's the case, it seems like you really love this tenant. It seems like you really thinking about his situation, about her situation right now, and it sounds like you don't want to put her on the street. So if someone can buy the property that can continue renting it out on that person, are you willing to move forward and sell the property?
Yeah, I'm willing to move forward.
Okay, great, 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 great. So yeah, once again, you own it for 14 years, right? You own it for 14 years. So are you still paying like a mortgage in this property?
I never had a mortgage on it.
Wow, so it's free and clear. Great, great to know. So free and clear. Okay.
hmm
So what is your asking price for the property, by the way?
I've just been kind of looking at the market. I see that it's worth like around 300,000. That's what shows up on Zillow and all the other sites that I check. So I don't know. I just figure it somewhere in that neighborhood.
Okay, okay, I see. So if we bought the property from you for 300 grand, how much do you think would it worth, or how much do you think we can sell the property after all the makeovers? Like after everything will be updated to its 2023 standard, how much do you think will it worth if we will list it in the market?
I don't know. I don't have any idea. To be honest with you.
Oh, okay, okay, I see, I see. So for the condition of the house, how much do you think we need to put on to do the makeover, to do the stuff?
Yeah, I don't know what the cost is. On getting the stuff done. I couldn't tell
Mhm.
you. I haven't done construction in a long time. I mean, I did this, 14 years ago. Prices then are not.
Time, Joseph. How you feel?
Yeah, pretty bit off about the motivation. It seems like this person is not really motivated to sell the house. It sounds like he's just only entertaining some numbers.
hmm Well, why? I mean, it sounded like he had some motivation. What makes you think? What makes you say he wasn't too motivated?
Because it seems like he's not really in pain to sell because he's getting a good cash flow. The tenant is not really complaining if there's an increase of the rent. At the same time, it's free and clear.
Was there something that he missed, Rob?
Yeah, there was some
There
motivation.
was.
The tenant was not really paying. You know, she'd been in there for all that time, but her payment history was really sporadic. Even though I was concerned about her well-being, it was just something I threw out there. One, that was just to see if he would ask more questions about her. But that's what the real motivation was that the tenant just wasn't really paying consistently, and I was a little tired of dealing with it.
Okay.
Awesome. What do you think he could have asked to get that information out of you?
I guess just maybe just asking about the tenant. Just a simple question like, what kind of tenant is she?
Yep.
Just anything along the lines of inquiring about the tenant. I could push back, and that's why he's asking that, but still just ask more questions about the tenant.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure. So, Joseph, you did a really good job in the beginning. You did a really good job pulling away throughout the call and labeling, right? Sometimes when you false label, you say something like you did, like you said, it sounds like you're really not looking to sell this house. He came back to you, right? And he told you like, yeah, no, I'm looking to sell it, right? So it's important that whenever there's tenants in the property, we need to ask how are the tenants? How are the tenants? Like, how's your experience with the tenants so far? It's a very valid question to ask. Like, if a seller tries to give you pushback for asking the question about the tenants, it's a very valid question to ask, because if we're buying a property that has tenants in it, we're going to be taking those tenants over. So we need to know how those tenants operate. Right.
Okay, great.
So let's go. Let's pull up our sales system again. So we already know we could have dug deeper into the motivation, to the 5 parts of the motivation. Right. So like, where's he at right now? He wants to sell it. How did he get in this position to want to sell? Like, we have to start to remember that when we are, you guys see the mural screen, the sales system. All right. So when we are digging for the motivation, if we cannot find motivation, we need to play dumb until we get that motivation. We need to act confused. We need to be super curious. Like, imagine you worked at an ice cream store and somebody was just in there, not an ice cream store, right? Say you worked at a sneaker store and somebody just walked in and they're just walking around all day. All right, they're there for like 45 minutes to an hour. They're just walking around all day. Every time you ask them a question, they're like, "Nah, I'm good," right? And they don't want to sell. Like, you're going to be confused as to why are they in here. If they're not even looking to buy, they're not even looking at stuff. They're just walking around like, why are they in here? And it's the same thing with the seller. If we're on the phone with them and we're not finding signs of motivation, we need to be confused as to why are we talking? Like, why are you entertaining people talking about selling a house if you really don't want to sell? So we even say that down here at the bottom. Yeah, right here. If a seller does not show signs of motivation, play dumb, act confused as to why they're on the phone with us at all. Get them to agree that they don't need to sell this, right? Or that they potentially don't want to sell. So if you're feeling that the seller is not motivated because we didn't dig a little deeper and ask questions, like, we want to act confused, and we could say something like, "Man, it sounds like if you don't sell this in a year or two," you can say, "I may be wrong, but it sounds like if you don't sell this in a year or two, that's not really a big deal to you." Right? So if you're feeling like there's no motivation, Joseph, we want to start to play dumb and start to pull away a little bit and act confused as to why would they consider selling, and why are we why are you wasting time on the phone if you don't want to sell? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
We can clean up our expectation setting a bit. I'm gonna type something up for you just to make it more like just straight to the point, right? We can just say something like, you know, it's my job to ask you some questions, some preliminary questions to see if we're a good fit. Well, not even to see if we're a good fit. It's my job to ask you some preliminary questions to see if your house qualifies for us to buy it. If it does, I will pass the information to our property specialist, who will give you a call back today and give you an offer. If we're not a good fit, I'll point you in the right direction anyway. Sound good? Perfect. Right? It should be precise, straight to the point. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Couple of them.
We didn't get much further, but let's focus on, like, if we're digging for motivation and we can't find that motivation, let's play dumb until that motivation presents itself. Does that make sense?
Great. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Good stuff. Rob, you ready to be a buyer?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, who can be a seller for Rob? Don't all speak at once.
Got it.
Let's get it, Nick. All right, Rob. So you're giving Nick a call. We have about 6 minutes on the clock. ARV is at $300,000, and the timer starts on your ring. Am I echoing for anybody else other than Rolando?
Right now,
You're not-
you're sounding good.
Good.
You haven't been echoing at all. Once you unmute,
But am I echoing right now? I'm unmuted.
you don't echo.
Other people echo?
Yeah, you're not echoing, girl, but everyone else I hear.
Once you unmute, once you put yourself in mute, it stops.
Okay. Let me see some.
So once you started sharing, that's when it started.
When I share it, I'm streaming to YouTube at the same time, so that may be the issue.
Okay.
But I'll mute and we can go ahead. So Rob, you're giving Nick a call. We got 6 minutes on the clock. ARV's at 300,000, and timer starts when your ring.
All right. Ring.
Hello?
Hey, on YouTube, am I echoing?
Hey,
Are you guys
is this Nick?
Let me know in the comments.
Yep.
Are you guys?
Hey, Nick, this is Rob. I'm
Or can you
calling you about your property at 123 Main Street.
the role play
I was
right now?
just curious to know if you're still looking to sell the house.
Oh, yeah, I'm still looking to sell.
Awesome. So Nick, again, my name is Rob, and my team and I were looking to acquire some properties in that area, and we're trying to get a few more properties in the next couple of weeks. So just tell me what has you looking to sell?
I want the money.
Wow, you want the money? What are the plans, man?
I mean, I don't think that's your concern. I mean, are you going to make me an offer?
Yeah, I would love to make you an offer. So Nick, what I'd like to do is just ask you a few questions about the property, just so I can kind of get an understanding.
Let me pause real quick, Rob.
Yep.
So, what personality type is Nick?
Right now, he's coming across the red.
He's
It
coming
didn't
across-
sound that way at first,
Yep.
but it sounded like it got that way pretty quick.
So what I would have done with this red with this so the question that you just asked him in the beginning, what did he just say just now? Nick, what did you just say to him just now? You were like, it's none of your concern or something like that?
Yeah, I just said I want the money.
You just want the money, right? Okay, perfect. So Rob, that's a perfect opportunity. So we talk about the initial connection, right? Let me share my screen. Your first job in this step is to make a friend. Once you get somebody to like you, it's a lot more likely for them to want to do a deal with you, want to work with you, right? Can you see that?
Yep.
So it's our job. So one of the things that I like to do when or like to attempt when I'm on these calls is to get the seller to laugh or like relate to me as soon as possible. right? So he says, I want the money, right? Shit, so do I. What's going on? Like, we should be friends. You know, you can say something like that just to get him on board, right? Just to kind of break his guard down. Because like with him, if you would have said something like that, just jumped out and was just like, well, shit, me too. Sounds like we should be talking. Or like, I want the money, you want the money, I got the money, I want a house, right? So what's up? Let's talk. You know, and you just like change your tone a bit, and you get more a little bit upbeat and just on top of things like that, because he's a red seller, so we have to be a little faster. Right. And just I think he would have laughed at that. And once you get a red seller to laugh, a lot of times their wall comes down and red sellers start to become yellow sellers. Right. So they turn into like orange, right? Because they can always come back to red really quick with the swiftness. So if you can get him to laugh like as soon as possible, or get him to relate with you a little bit, or you can relate with him a little bit, you know, you're providing that credibility. He's liking you a lot more, and everything else will be easier throughout the call. You can keep going. Yeah, I'm here. Damn.